What's up, internet folks? It's Mike. I just kind of wanted to make a real quick video and lambast technology for some of the things that they're doing wrong. Um, Couple of quick things I wanted to touch on today, or this evening. And this video is not going to be edited or anything. I'm not going to have any kind of fancy transitions, and I'm probably going to say a lot. So I apologize in advance. And this whole situation behind me uh, is terrible. I don't have a set yet, so it is what it is. Anyway, so we're going to start with we're going to talk data usage, not only on your mobile side, but also your home internet side. Um, Cell phone providers, the big four, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. AT&T and Verizon have limited data access. Sprint and T-Mobile have unlimited data. Um, Most of the time, if you go sign up for an individual plan, you'll get 2 gigabytes of data. To simplify that, an audio CD of MP3s, let's say a 14-track CD on MP3s, radio broadcast quality is roughly 100 megabytes. It's roughly 100 megabytes, and that takes about 70 minutes to listen to. So let's say you had a 30-minute trip to work and a 30-minute trip back, and you worked, your typical Monday through Friday 8 to 5. If you just streamed music for that Monday through Friday 4 weeks, you hit your 2 gigabytes of data. Um, T-Mobile introduced Music Freedom, where they're music streaming, most of them anyway, are not going to count toward your data limit, which is great. A lot of people are crying foul, saying that it violates net neutrality or whatever. I don't really know the whole basis behind that, considering it's something that John Ledger has decided to give away for free. Um, anyway, people will complain just to complain. Speaking of complaining, let's get back to my video. Um, but yeah, mobile. Uh, all of our devices are mobile devices. Um, you've started hearing about this technology called the cloud. It started several years ago. Um, it was meant to envision like your data was stored up in space somewhere where you could always have access to it. Basically, in the cloud, uh, they're actually just big, massive like servers inside of warehouses somewhere. So if you can imagine just a room full of computers, that's the cloud. Um, Services like Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, iCloud. Um, I think I mentioned Google Drive. Um, they are all um, cloud-based storage. Now, um, as we start to put all of our data inside the cloud, carriers are actually really, really hoping that we move all of our storage to the cloud, so we rack up our data usage. For instance, this month has actually been kind of a light month for me. Um, haven't really used as much data as what I usually would, and so far this month I'm halfway through, and on my T-Mobile account I have used, let me see here, according to, this is compelling video, by the way. Um, as of this moment, I have used, well, T-Mobile's app has crashed. That's great. Last I had checked, it was a couple of days ago, I was at 8.7 gigabytes of data, which would cost me this arm and this leg if I was on AT&T or Verizon. But luckily, I get really good connection with T-Mobile, so I can stay unlimited. But it's not just mobile that's the problem. It's actually home internet usage too. I have Comcast here at my house, and in the Atlanta area, Comcast just instituted a 300 gigabyte data cap for all of its users, which it seems like a lot of data but whenever you think about it, it's actually not. Um, Netflix started rolling out several months ago their new Ultra HD technology, which I guess just makes HD more HD-ier. Um, it looks pretty good. It's not 4K, or 2K, which is I guess the next big thing. Um, but an hour of Ultra HD streaming on Netflix takes up probably about 1.5 gigabytes of data. Um, so if you are like me and my wife and our Netflix junkies, if you sit down and watch maybe a 2 hour movie and a couple of episodes of your favorite TV show. Right now, we're hooked on House. You've racked up about 6 gigabytes of data. Um, Actually, probably more than that. I would say close to about 8 or 9 gigs of data. Um, Heaven forbid that your Google Drive or Dropbox is synchronizing, and heaven forbid you also have another family member that's maybe watching YouTube HD while you're watching Netflix. Long story short, that 300 gigs can go pretty quick. Um, and as I'm finding out through speaking with Comcast tech support tonight, there really is no way to get out of that data cap. Um, but yeah, long story short, as our lives become more about getting content over the internet through streaming video, streaming music, as our lives move more into the cloud where data is available everywhere. We're going to start seeing it even more with some of the wearables that are coming out later, that are out right now, and coming out a little bit later on this year, namely the rumored Apple iWatch and also the Moto 360 Google Wear or Google Android Wear smartwatch. We're going to continue to use more and more and more data. Um, and it doesn't look like the internet service providers are going to budge as far as their restrictions. Um, they're going to continue to make their internet faster, but they're not going to allow us to use more of it. So essentially, we'll just get to our data caps quicker. Um, so that's the first thing that I think is that the tech industry is just completely doing wrong. Um, they say that too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and in that instance, or for that example, it actually is. The next thing I'm going to touch on is battery technology, smartphones. Um, the last 3 Android devices that came out that were big were the HTC One M8, the Samsung Galaxy S5, and the LG G3, all of which have the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 series quad-core processors. We have quad-core processors in our phones now. We also, the average screen size for the new flagship devices is right around 5.1 or 5.2 inches. This is the Google flagship phone, the Nexus 5. This has a 5-inch screen and also a quad-core processor. This is Apple's flagship, the iPhone 5S, which it's my wife's phone. I got a little picture of me on there, which is kind of cool. Neither of which, under heavy use, can give you a full day. Since I'm always around computers, typically my phone just kind of sits on the desk waiting for a phone call I'm not going to get or a text message I'm not going to get. It also kind of pops up with Facebook messages all day, but really my phone doesn't get used all that frequently. My wife, on the other hand, she's always on this thing, whether she's playing games. She likes to watch Netflix while she's at work. On her lunch break, she's not slacking, in case any of her coworkers are watching this. But yeah, neither of these devices you can get a full day out of. We're not even really going to talk about the Notes, like the Galaxy Note phones and the HTC One Maxes, the big phones, the phones that basically look like you've got this on your head. The big 6+ inch or 5.7+ inch devices. Um, and it doesn't seem like any of the manufacturers are doing anything to make their battery better. Um, the new Samsung phone and the new HTC phones, they have battery saving technology where basically near the end of your battery it starts shutting off parts of your phone. There's a new Samsung commercial where it shows a whole bunch of iPhone users tethered to the wall, and they've got their phones plugged into the wall, and in comes this guy with a Galaxy S5 and pulls the battery off and pulls the back off and puts a new battery in it. But who wants to carry around 5 batteries in their pocket just because they decided to have a marathon Angry Bird session on their phone? Um, rather than further battery technology, we're still running off the same lithium-ion tech we've had for several years now. Back whenever we used to carry these around, we would get 5 or 6 days of battery life out of them. And you know, obviously we didn't have WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Angry Birds. We had Snake. You know, we also had face-to-face relationships with people because nobody wanted to say 44 and then wait for the space 444 and then £sign to say hi. So we yeah, now we have threaded text messages and everything, and meanwhile we're just sitting there and we can never really get too far away from a wall outlet because our phones are dying. I mean, we should, I don't know what was so awesome about these Nokias. I mean, obviously they were fantastic for standby battery life and everything, and I mean, they just lasted forever. And the rumored iPhone 6 that's coming out, I guess September 19th is the rumored date. Rumor has it that the phone's going to have a 4.7-inch display, which is, I mean, the 5S has a 4-inch display, so you're looking at about 15% more screen real estate, and the rumor is the battery is only going to be about 20% larger. So a new iteration of phone, actually, no, the new battery is going to be about 10% larger if rumors are true. So we're actually going to lose 5% of battery life, all to have a bigger phone. Whereas it's bizarre to me how we're all going to have phones that are this big and that skinny just to have phones that are this big and this skinny. None of them are going to have decent battery life. None of them. But they're all going to have Ultra HD or Quad or Octa HD displays and 80 megapixel cameras. Whereas this one didn't even have a camera. And I'll tell you something else about this phone. Shit. Just cracked my desk. You also can't do that with an iPhone. Or an Android phone. But anyway, I just think tech's kind of doing it wrong. Where there's a lot of other things that I'll come up with later on to do probably a better video about. It's late and my brain's shot. So, but I mean, overall, it's just the technology industry as a whole, it just kind of seems like they're going the wrong direction. And no company is out there trying to innovate. T-Mobile, honestly, and this isn't just because I'm a T-Mobile subscriber, it seems like they're really the only company that's trying to shake anything up. And it's unfortunate. But anyway, you know, nobody really thinks about all that stuff, and maybe it's just me. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, peace.